Well, g'day fishers. Welcome back to our weekly fishing report. Now, firstly, I've got to apologise. Our reports have been sporadic. Well, to be honest, I'm going to be dead honest with everybody. It's been a little bit difficult to do reports. Mentally, I've been going through a few challenges with COVID, through business and things like that. So I had to reach out and get some help, get some backing of my mates, get my confidence back, get my fitness back. And to be honest with you, if you're feeling like that, reach out and get help. To be honest, it does a world of good, and I feel like a new man. So, to be honest with you, it's a bit of a call out to people to say, hey, if you're feeling it, definitely go and seek advice, seek help, professional help. I've done professional help. Don't be scared of doing it. It'll change your world. And so there you go. So that's the honest truth of why the fishing reports have been a little bit quiet, and I haven't been in the shop as much. But I'm on the road to a full recovery of getting there, getting the fishing reports done, and getting back into some fishing. So let's move on to the fishing report. So, if you're living in the bay, you would have seen that the bay is an absolute mess as far as the water's concerned. It's a lot of colour in the water at the moment, but that's going to be a good thing. That's going to flush a lot of big flatties down. If you follow our Instagram page, and thank you, we're up to over 4,000 followers on our Instagram page. You would have seen Coles, he's done it again. He's just smashing it this spring. Another 80 centimetre model, finding the better water and finding those bigger fish. Now, those bigger flatties are going to move down the bay. So they're going to be down the likes of Corlett, Shoal Bay, over to Jimmy's Beach, all through that area now. They'll move right down into the bay after all that fresh water. So if you're into your land-based fishing, get out there and give it a crack. If you love your bait fishing, the old slow roll brine pilcher does a trick on lizards. That's the go, and it's good fun too. So give that a crack. With your soft plastics, you want to go a little bit more colour in the plastics, either chartreuse or pink, and that'll be the go. Same with your hard bodies as well. Just that little bit of colour will work really well. So some good flatties around at the moment. I suspect there'll be a few dewies turning up as well. They'll flush down the systems. You'll find some dewies. And the actual crabs will start to really heat up after this fresh. Give it another couple of weeks. I reckon a week before Christmas. Get your crab traps out there. We've got plenty of crab traps, crabbing kits ready to go. And give that a crack and get your blue swimmers before Christmas. So that's worth a shot. Some big sand whiting around as well. They really hit the straps. If you find that clearer, warmer water, 22, 23 degrees on the flats, you will get them on the surface lures right now. It's good fun, that's for sure. If you don't want to use the surface lures, live worm, away you go. But just be really, really light with your leader, 4 pound leader, and away you go. The brim will stack up on the rock walls as well. They'll push down, and it'll be good fun to do that. Over the shallows there, on the incoming tide, definitely get the surface lures out, and you'll have some fun on some big brim over the surface as well. So that's what's happening in the bay. Also, Matt Cole, son of Wayne, if you followed our Instagram page, you would have seen a 97 centimetre snapper, which he caught in the bay during the week, and he actually released an absolute beauty. More and more reports of big snapper in the bay. Hopefully they're on a bit of a rebound, and we see more of that in the bay. To be unreal to consistently catch snapper in the bay. I do know a few people that do it, smaller fish, but it'd be really, really good fun. So that's the estuary in a nutshell at the moment. Now, the beaches and rocks, a little bit hit and miss because we've had plenty of swell. It's been up and down like a yo-yo. There are a few whitings starting to hit the beach. I suggested looking at boxing and fingal, live worms, or even our local cured worms, which we've got back in stock. Our secret worms are going really well. There'll be dewies on the beach as well. You've probably, if you're down Barubie Way, you would have noticed that all that water's pushing out of the Hunter River, which means one thing, the dewey will school up on the beaches at the moment. So give that a crack on those high tides, especially after dark, or definitely giving it a go during the day. A lot of guys are slow rolling bigger plastics, anything from 6 to 10 inch plastics in the gutters. Now that the water's dirty, it's definitely worth a shot. Those fish will be in there, they'll feel secure, and they'll actually bite during the day on the tide change. So you never know your luck. Throw a big plastic into the white water into the gutters and you might land a 20 kilo dewey during the day, which is phenomenal, but it does happen, and it does happen quite regularly, so give that a crack. Plenty of salmon still around on the beaches. I spoke to my wormer and he had a big pile of salmon up on Bennett's Beach there. Dolphins chasing it in, and a few sharks as well. So a few salmon around. That's because the water's still a little bit cool. It won't start to get warmer for another month or so. We need the nor'easters to bugger off, or we need a whole new weather pattern to change. A few southerlies to push that warmer water in, and that'll happen. But the beaches at the moment going okay. Same with the rocks. At the moment, not much to report on pelagic side of things. There's a few small kings around, but definitely bread and butter species, your tailor, your salmon, your brim, and your drummer and things like that. And also worth a shot at some snapper. I walked past an elderly gentleman at Tomaree the other day. He had a bag of nice snapper. Not big fish, probably 1 kilo to 2 kilos, but he had some nice fish there. He's just fishing on sunrise, just right at the tip of Tomaree there. as you walk around the disability hospital there. So he's floating some baits down with the tide there. So definitely worth a shot there as well. Now on the offshore scene, if you can get out, there are some really nice fish. Jamie fished some deeper water, 105 metres. I think it was out the back of the 21 there, and got some really nice pearl perch. I was actually jealous. I looked at his pearl perch and went, wow, I'd love a feed of those. They are delicious. So if you're keen on doing that, there are a few pearl perch out in that deeper water. Some snapper as well. In that 90 metre mark, which is not too far away. You can get some mulloway at this time of year as well, plus some snapper. So the deeper water seems to be fishing okay at the moment. I reckon after all this stir up, be worth a snapper bash in the shallows as well. The water's still cool enough at the moment, worth a shot at the moment there. Some trag on the reefs, so it'd be worth looking at the big gibber, the 21, the V, and also down south to the Urala and the tank mark at the moment. The trag is starting to sort of turn up in a few more numbers as we're getting closer to that warmer weather or warmer water at the moment. A little bit further to the east there, the water's starting to change a fair bit on the shelf at the moment. I spoke to a gentleman who was sort of also fishing that deeper water. He actually marked some bait. He was in 120 metres of water and actually marked 2 marlin. On his sounder there, he said there was plenty of bait. There was very little current, so it's looking like it may turn around. I think you'll find that we will get some sort of bite on the shelf, whether it be stripes or a couple of blacks, I think in the not too distant future. We are in December now, and I remember last year towards the end of December we started to get a bit of a bite, so it's definitely worth running to the shelf. The other thing you'll find this time of year is your bigger dolphin fish will definitely be on the shelf. So if you're trolling lures, you'll find that you might find those bigger dolphin fish. And when I mean bigger, those 15, 20 kilo models, which we usually see early season. Anyway, that's a wrap for the fishery report this week. We're going to continue to do our weekly report now. We're back on track. The shop is so full. We've got so much new stock. It's just crazy. The boys have done a good job while I've been away the last couple of weeks to fill those racks. But there's plenty of new stuff to come and have a look at. Everything from new gulps to new reels to new rods. It's unreal. It's a really good season in fishing gear this year. So come in, check it out, and we'll speak to you next week.